So what are we drawing today? We are drawing ACEOs. We are drawing ACEOs. We are drawing ACEOs. We are drawing some ACEOs. Yeah! Oh, God. I can't believe I just did that. That's what we're drawing today. If you want to draw something, let's go this way. Draw. Okay, so that's the silliness out of the way. We have got a lot to get on with today, so a quick recap on that is an ACEO, that is an A6, and that is an A5, and then bigger is an A4, okay? So you can see that the ACEOs are tiny. So you can frame them up, and I do have these kind of, I put them in a border, and you can kind of see them. I don't have one with me, but you can see I've posted them up all over the place. And I'll be doing some A6 as well. So you can kind of gauge what kind of prints you would like, or originals. These are not prints, these are originals. There will be some prints later on, but for the moment, we are sticking with some of the originals. And in a great way, because I do feel like it really kind of gets the excitement going a little bit. There's a couple there that I've already started. There's a vulture, there's a cow, there's a ukulele, and there's some kind of crazy man called Mr. Smiles. And I will paint them up, and they will look gorgeous. I've got a whole batch of them painted up somewhere. That is a good example of a painted A6. That's an A6. Oh, is it an A6? Yeah, something like that. And that is the ACO. So you can see the size difference on them. So whatever you want to buy, you can go from a £5 thing up to a £20 thing, up to a £100 thing. So it really comes down to each individual person about what they want to spend. And as I've always said, that when you buy something, you're not just buying a gorgeous piece of artwork, you're also supporting the channel. And that's touches my heart. So let's get into some drawing. I don't know if this picks up some of these small ones, but let's get in and start off. And the fun thing about these little ACOs is basically that you can kind of just come up with a fun idea. And birds have been very popular, so I kind of get in there and I draw a nice kind of smiling bird. And that is just where the fun, and it's a great thing also if you're kind of starting out in art. If you're a kind of a beginner and you're getting things a little bit too serious, the ACOs are a great way for you to just relax, you know, just to kind of chill out a bit and chill out and just do some doodling, some drawing, and enjoy it. So you can be a bit of a goofy one. And these are the original versions. So, you know, if you do buy these are originals. And one day when you're sitting on the sofa and someone comes up to the Antiques Roadshow and they say, "Yes, I have a drawing by Mr. Seamons from 2006. It's called an ACEO." And they say, "Yo, they're worth £20 million. And you'll be very, very rich." Possibly. So, you have to say possibly in this day and age, don't you? Otherwise, in 50 years' time, people will turn up and kind of go, you know, "You promised me £20 million and sue my ass," as they say. But they are very relaxing to kind of do. And there's a whole stack of them up there at the moment. So do pop over onto to eBay if you fancy getting yourself a little drawing. As I said, they start at £5. So, and you also have to remember that it comes with a mounted card. The picture is stuck on a mounted card. It goes in a big envelope. I have to pay the mounted card. I have to pay the envelope. And once eBay's taken their third, you know, from every $4.99 that I get, I don't get. They take a third off it every single time. So the trick to that really is that if you do want, you know, if you are a collector of such, do let me know. You could very well kind of send me a donation, and I can do something especially for you for your collection. If you collect birds, if you collect snails, if you collect porcupines, whatever you collect, and people do have some very wonderful and delightful collections, as I've seen. I have sold fish and snails, and chickens is very popular. I'm not sure where that collection started, but chickens are very popular. So I'll have to draw a chicken today. And each section, I like to make them slightly different. So these four at the top will have a business card on the back, an old business card from me. And they're ever so slightly smaller. Can you see? Ever so slightly smaller, but you got the added kind of specialty to it. Whereas these are blank. They're white on the back, just like that. And this is the one I'm drawing now. It's just white. And so each person is different. But then I try to make the ones that are white on the background, I will sign them. So really, $4.99 for a signed original art. Not bad. Not bad. That's what I think. Don't know what you think, but so I'll do a few of these this morning so you can see. So you can kind of see what is happening. Now, these do sell very, very, very quickly. So if you are interested in any of these, you can contact me directly, and you can buy them. Let's post him up there, and I will sign the back of that one. I won't be signing the back of those because they're a card. So let's draw another funny face one. I quite enjoy doing those ones. I quite enjoy drawing the kind of little creature things. They always kind of make me laugh, because it doesn't matter how you feel about them. They're always different. Each one is always, you know, it's like a little kind of simple shape with two eyes on it. But each one, I've done like 20 of them now, and each one is very different, and I love that. I love the fact that each one is so different from the other. Like this one here's got an eye patch. And I guess that's the beauty of enjoying your art, that, you know, each one is different. And it's different not because I'm deliberately trying to. It's just that I enjoy doing it so much. I love creating these little things. And, you know, there's already a few people that have got a complete kind of gallery almost of my Aceos and my A6s and A5s. And there's a lady called Natalie, that I did a drawing for the other day. I did the fox for her. And she's got a whole wall of all these little framed pictures. It's so gorgeous. I did post it up on Instagram, I think. So you can actually go and check those out. But it kind of makes you feel so kind of special that these drawings are so meaningful to people. It's just a beautiful feeling, you know. Let's give him a pirate stubble for this one. And I'm hoping that one day these will be valuable to you, you know, in a memory sense or in a financial sense. I would very much love to hear that. He's quite a cute little pirate. Let's give him a necklace. Let's give him a thumbs up. He's obviously a happy pirate. And for the other arm, I'm going to give him a bigger hook, just to really make him look very piratey. Can you see those? Yeah. So maybe we can get to some kind of arrangement that if there's something that you do want, you can contact me and I can do them through eBay or through PayPal. As we start to try and build up some money for the YouTube channel. As you can see from my my work, it does kind of take a lot of paper and a lot of ink to kind of keep going. So there we have a lovely little collection starting to grow. And as an example, I will just do a back version for you. I'll do something on the back that looks something like this. Each one will be different, and I'll sign the back for you. And I also like to make sure that each signature I do is slightly different, you know, like like something like that. I do try to make the signature as interesting as the artwork, you know. I have very few signed original pieces in my collection, but for the simple reason that they're too expensive. I just don't have the money to pay for a signed piece of artwork. Although I do have a couple of pieces, and I think I've shown you a couple of pieces before. One of my favorites, one of my absolute favorites, I bought from a lady who had sold me this, and it's Don Martin. And I used to love his comics. From the Mad magazine, he used to do Captain Klutz and things like that, and I absolutely loved it as a child. And this came up for an auction, and it wasn't very expensive, and I just love it. I love how simple it is, that it's just a drawing and a signature, and I love it. I put it right next to on my collection of drawings over there, and every time I walk into the kitchen, I get this lovely burst of delight. So if you could imagine your little Aceo kind of going in there, that's the kind of border that I do, a white border on it, and you could frame it up And it would look so cool, wouldn't it? Go and get yourself one. They are such a delight. I'll have to put it there for now. But they are such a delight to have these little drawings. They are just, they make my day so beautiful. I love the fact that when I've got surrounded by artwork that inspires me. It just fills me with like energy as soon as I see it. Seeing, I walk into the kitchen every day. I look up that little Don Martin illustration and his signature, and right, and it kind of gives you that goal in life to be somebody so important to other people as the illustrator from Mad Magazine. And that's where I'm heading. The thing is that a lot of people love comics like the Captain Klutz from the Mad Magazine. It was a very, very, very popular comic strip. It was very, 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 very popular, very well loved, but not so many people know the artist, and I just kind of feel a little bit sad sometimes that people don't take the time to see who's behind all of this. And I remember a very basic story about Captain Klutz falling out of or trying to kill himself or something and jumping out of a window. And as he falls through all the washing hanging on all the lines, and he's going through this. He's going through a pair of socks, and he's going through some underwear, and he's, and by the time he gets to the bottom, he crashes on top of some bad guys that have just robbed a bank or something like that. And I'm going to give him a lollipop. No reason, just the fact of him having a lollipop. And so Captain Klutz kind of catches the bad guy, but at the same time, he kind of loses his memory, and he's like, oh, And this policeman turns up and kind of says to him, he says, thank you, Captain Klutz. And he has no idea what's going on, and he thinks, oh, I'm dressed like a superhero. I must be Captain Klutz. Oh, it makes me laugh even now, just thinking about it. And that's what's kind of missing from today. I think a lot of children are really missing out on a lot of fantastic comics and stuff like that. They're all stuck on their phone, sadly. But in fact, there used to be a place I think it's in Worthing, that I used to go, and it was kind of like a comic treasure hunt. It was like you could go in there and you could bring a few comics and you could kind of trade them in, and you pay like £1 on top or something like that, obviously. And then you could swap your comics, and he would have your comics to pass on to the next people. It was just such a lovely, charitable idea. I thought, whereas it obviously wouldn't work today because people wouldn't bring them back, but and that's where I learned about Fat Freddy's cat and things like that, Or it was the Fabulous Freak Brothers, I think, to begin with, and then it became a kind of a spin-off of it, was Fat Freddy's cat. Fat Freddy's cat was kind of introduced to me by my brother, really. He had got comics from there, and obviously very different to mine. I was kind of into like 2000 AD and things like that all spacey and monsters and stuff like that at the time. And he kind of brought in this sense of silly fun, So, there's a nice little hog for you. Should we give him some teeth? Yeah, we need to give him some teeth, don't we? All wild hogs have big teeth, don't they? There you go. There you go. He's a wild hog, but he's got a lollipop, so he's a nice one. See how beautiful little collection it is already. So, I'll do a couple more. Chickens are popular, aren't they? Well, I've done a lot of chickens. What else can I do? Let's just draw an eye and see where it takes me. Okay, it kind of looks like an elephant's eye, doesn't it? I think it looks like an elephant's eyes because elephant's eyes are always so kind of wrinkly, aren't they? And if you are a collector, do contact me. I'll be delighted to do some drawings. Obviously, I don't really want to be selling them for like £5, but I want, you know, if you're a serious collector and you want to help my channel, contact me, and I will do a special drawing of whatever size you want. You know, maybe you could do like £20 for a small one, or £50 for something bigger, you know? I don't know. If you're a collector, if you're really... But I do need to get the channel back up and moving. If you are watching this and you haven't subscribed, please do. You don't pay anything. It's all free. The subscription on YouTube is free. You just click a button that says, I like this. That's it. And that the whole kind of subscription, it's a little bit of a silly word, to be honest, because subscription usually means you pay, but on YouTube it isn't. Basically it means that let's give him a football shirt. It basically means that you just like this channel. So you know, you click I subscribe to this channel. It just basically means that you will be kind of like, you will probably see a little bit more of what I'm doing. I don't really think it makes any difference. I've subscribed to hundreds of channels. Mostly kind of mandolin channels. I'm quite a mandolin obsessed person. I have been for years. And as I've probably told you, I blame it all on Andy Irvine for being so damn cool. I'd gone to see him many years ago and he was just so amazing, and it just started this kind of love for his music, his mandolin playing, his bouzouki playing and stuff like that. It's quite incredible how somebody can inspire other people. And maybe even these little drawings here are inspiring you today. Let's do a slightly bigger one. This will be the A5. And we will do, why not those bats? I did find that I put a couple of bats and they sold instantly. It was like, you know, I put them up for like £5 and they kind of sold for like £20. So it's like, that was gorgeous, you know. So bats are very, 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 very popular. And I find with bats that you kind of do have to kind of make them as crazy looking as possible. I have done a few bats, and I rather enjoyed drawing a bat. It's one of those type of situations of you can kind of enjoy doing it so much you want to draw 50 more, you know. And there was one that actually got this is a very funny story. There's one that actually got lost in the post. So the lady wrote to me and says, look, this has got lost in the post. And but she was very, very nice about it. She was like, you know, don't worry about it. I'm sure it will turn up. And so she didn't want a refund or anything like that. But I felt rather kind of guilty about it, you know. Not that it was my fault, obviously, but the fact that somebody didn't get their artwork. So I looked at the drawing and I thought, well, you know, you could redraw it. So, of course, my kind of creative mind has broken away from that copying mode that I kind of originally learned. I mean, I worked in animation for years, so my job was copying, you know. This is Dennis the Menace, copy it. This is the Moomins, copy it. And so I thought I'd redraw it. I redrew it. I had the lady's address, so I sent it to her. And it took a bit of time to kind of get there, obviously, by redrawing it and waiting for drying times and such. And by the time it had arrived, she sent me a photo of the twins. The lost one had arrived and the new one had arrived, and she was kind of like, well, they're not exactly the same. They're kind of like quite cute. And so she sent me a photo of both of them, which I'll put on Instagram. And you can, but that's again a beautiful kind of way to explain also that all these drawings are original. Doesn't matter how bad it is or how good it is or how strange it is or how messy it is. They're all original, you know? Like on this like signature one, maybe there's a big blob of ink on it or something, you know? That's different to the other one. If I'd redrew an elephant, it'd be a different elephant. Like my bats, I'm drawing this bat now. All the bats look completely different. So that is the beauty of an original art, rather than a print. A print means that, you know, 100 people have got the same drawing that you have. With these originals, there's only one. Except for that lady who now has two. But yeah, I mean, that's what's so special about these little drawings, these little originals. And if you are very, very interested in any of them, do let me know. But you can go up onto Mando Miro, as in mandolin and my dog, Mr. Miro. So Mandolin Miro 88 is my seller name. So you can go up and search there, or just go on and type in my name, Kieron Seamons, and you will have a whole flurry of little drawings that pop up. I'm never quite sure about what a bat's feet look like, but I like to think they're like little kind of monkey hands, you know. With claws, of course, with claws. That's a beautiful bat, isn't he gorgeous? But like I said, all the sales on the eBay at least come along to keep this channel alive, keep it ticking along. And, you know, That's what it's all about, right? Staying alive in this mad and insane world that we live in. Yeah, I'll do it. Can you actually see him? I'll move him up a little bit. Yeah, you can see him. Bat! Isn't he gorgeous? I mean, doesn't he look quite dangerous, doesn't he? And he's flapping his wings there above your head. I think these A5s, I think I'm putting them up for like £20. £18, I think they are. Or something like that. But obviously with the size difference, they're so beautiful when you frame them up. I've got a couple of mine, even a couple of my own I frame up. I just think are just, you know, that didn't sell, and I thought, oh, that's my favorite one of all time, and it didn't sell, and I think, okay, I'll keep it. One of them was my the angel that I did. I really loved that. And the shop is still open, by the way. The Etsy shop is still open. So if you do want to print and you can get them framed and sent to you, please go to the Etsy shop and get yourself a mug or a print of some sort. And there is today's set of drawings. I hope that inspires you. I hope that makes you feel fantastic, because I'm feeling already fantastic by just seeing the difference in size and the difference in kind of well, I don't want to say difference in quality, but they're just so lovely. I mean, if you have them all framed up, they'd look gorgeous, wouldn't they? Wouldn't they? Buy my prints. Buy my artwork. Go on. So there you are. That's today's fantastic collection of drawings. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a fantastic time. And let's move them down there so you can see a little bit more some of the looser ones. There you go. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 drawings. I hope you like them. Let me know. Send me a comment. Tell me what you feel. Tell me what you think. And I'm very, very, very happy if you would go and buy some. There's 100 on there, I think, on eBay at the moment. So go and spend your money, and I'll see you back here very, very soon. Have a fantastic day. Keep drawing. Keep supporting the channel. I love you very much. See you all soon. Bye-bye.